So, according to the ESPN article, Rob Pelinka, Magic Johnson convinced LeBron James to shut it down for the remainder of the season. I think it's like maybe 6 games left. They convinced LeBron James to shut it down, even though he earlier stated that he had no plans on sitting out any remaining games unless he was hurt. Okay, this is what I'm not understanding. He said he wasn't going to sell any games unless he was hurt, but now you're hearing that, well, he really was injured. He still never recovered from the groin injury, so we're going to let him rest and hopefully recover as much from the groin injury. But my thing is, like, I don't get it, man. Like, I don't understand. Like, is he injured or not? Are you injured or not? I don't understand it. On one spectrum, you're saying, I'm going to play, you know, unless I get hurt. But then you say, well, the injury he had, he should have been out 6 months. Well, what is it? Are you injured? Are you hurt? I mean, don't get me wrong. I've heard about the groin injury, and I've never had one, thank goodness. But I've heard that if you're a competitive athlete and you playing competitively, this type of injury can take you out for a long time, um, especially if you're an older athlete. All right. Even if you're not an athlete, even in everyday life, getting a groin injury can really take you out of action for a long time. I remember reading about some guy who said that he suffered a groin injury a year and a half earlier, and it still flared up on him from time to time, periodically. Like he was saying, it was happening less and less. Like, it didn't happen frequently, but it still would flare up on him. And I'm like, damn. Like, so I understand, but I just want to know if LeBron is injured or not. Like, how bad? Like, the thing that get me is there was no transparency, first of all, with him and the severity of the injury in the first place. There's no transparency there. All we heard, now remember in December, he was on television talking about how he was the greatest player of all time. Then when you suffer this injury, all of a sudden you're speaking through your agent. There was never LeBron saying what was wrong, how bad it was. We all were just speculating. Then he misses a string of like 17 consecutive games. So we're thinking, wow, this is a really serious injury. This isn't like something he's going to be back in 2 weeks. He missed, what was it, over a month. I think he got injured in the Christmas Day game against the Warriors, and I think he came back, what was it, either the very beginning of February or the last day of January or something like that. So he was out for a very long time. All right. Now, obviously, when he came back, he didn't look quite the same, but you would expect that for a guy who had been out for over a month and probably hadn't been practicing much. So that was expected. But, uh, my thing is, okay, if the physical therapist is correct and he rushed back, you know what I'm saying? He rushed back in 6 weeks when he should have been out for 6 months, if that's correct, then aren't you risking, causing irreparable harm to your groin by coming back in 6 weeks instead of 6 months? That doesn't make any sense. A rush back to me is coming back 4 months when it should have been 6 months. Like I see that as a rush, but coming back 6 weeks, like, come on, man, stop trying to make it seem like you're this fucking super warrior competitor, like you're fucking the Black Rocky and shit, man. I hate that shit. Just be straight up, okay? That what used to get on my nerves with Kobe just a little bit. Like Kobe sometimes would play up some of his injuries. You know what I'm saying? Like he was injured, but sometimes the media make it seem like this guy was falling apart and shit, like he had leprosy. But LeBron is on a whole nother level with that shit, man. We all remember what he did in the finals after they lost. He had the the cast on his arm and shit, on his wrist, on his hand. Make it. I don't know, man. It's just it's always this pattern with him, man. Like whenever there's disappointment, whenever there's some type of failure, he always has to have like some built-in excuse that is pushed out there so that the media can use that for a repeated, parroted excuse for him. It's not him. It's the injury. It's not him. It's his teammates. It's not him. It's the coach. It's not him. It's Magic Johnson. I don't know. I think it just gets kind of old to me, man. Let me say something else too while I'm thinking about it. I've had a couple of people, just a couple, complain that I'm a LeBron James hater. And I try to hide it. One guy, he wrote something, man, and I ain't gonna lie, man, it really pissed me off. He said, I try to act like I'm a saint, but I'm a LeBron James hater. I have the same repeated points about when it comes to things against LeBron James and all this type shit, right? And I could really tell in his reply to me or his comment to me that he really feels some type of way toward me. And I'm like this. If you don't like my content, you don't have to be sub to me. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be subscribed to me. If you want a channel that is, I guess, perceived as LeBron friendly or pro LeBron, there are many channels out there for you. You can hear what you want to hear. Okay? I think, to be honest with you, I'm actually pretty nice on LeBron. You don't hear me saying, unless I'm heated about something he did, then I give him the business. When he do stupid shit, I give him the business. But for the most part, I try to be, level-headed with him and shit. I think he's a great player, but he does a lot of stupid shit. But if you don't like what I'm saying, that's unsubscribe from me. And then anyway, these people that say this shit about me, they never comment on any videos I do that have nothing to do with LeBron. Nothing. I never see them comment. You know what I'm saying? I put a piece out yesterday about what Ron Harper said in the interview. I put a video out there yesterday about James Harden, last night, about James Harden, and, he has to do this in the playoffs. What he's doing this season, he has to at least come close to it in the playoffs to get, to move to the next level. I don't care how many MVPs he won in the regular season. Karl Malone, regular season MVP. People don't even really remember him as an MVP. And he won it twice. You know what I'm saying? In 99, he won the MVP in the regular season. I think he was the oldest MVP in history, I think. I think he was 30, how old was Malone then? 35, but he was close to 36. And Utah didn't make it to the NBA Finals that year. Matter of fact, they weren't even in the Western Conference Finals, if memory serves me correctly. I might be wrong about that, but I don't think they were in the Western Conference Finals. So if you don't like what I'm doing, then don't listen to it, man. But anyway, I just hope that this season just fades into obscurity, man. And I'm gonna give this guy, LeBron, a whole nother, clean the slate. Next season is a whole nother season. But if the Lakers are not title contending next season, like Laker fans are impatient, okay? They waited long enough. You are the self-proclaimed GOAT. You need to deliver a championship. No fucking excuses. None. I don't want to hear no excuses next year about the Lakers if they're not at least in the Western Conference Finals. Really the NBA Finals, but I'll be nice to say at least the Western Conference Finals. If LeBron James only goes to the playoffs to just do a first round exit, then it's another failure of a season, in my opinion, because that wasn't the plan. The plan was for year one to be in the playoffs and maybe a first round exit. Year two, you got to be a championship contending team. All right, no, and then he gets older, and the older he gets, the more help he's going to need. So it's a very small window of opportunity for LeBron James right now to win a championship for the Lakers. If he can do it, he goes back in my top 5. I'm telling you that right now. LeBron goes back. All of the bullshit that he's been doing, all of it. If he can win a championship with the Lakers, LeBron is back in my top 5. But tell me what you got.